Hello student, in this lecture we are going to study modal auxiliaries. Auxiliary means helping verbs. Auxiliary means the verbs be, have and do are used with ordinary verbs to make tenses, passive forms, questions, and negatives. At that time, we can call them as auxiliary verbs. In the sentence, they were expresses some meanings like ability, possibility, obligation, permission, and habit, etc. It do not changes according to the person or subject of the sentence. So mainly there are two types of auxiliaries. First is main auxiliaries, that is main verbs do, did, does, am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had. These are primary auxiliaries which can, and secondly there are modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries will, shall, would, should, can, could, may, might, must, need, used to, have to, has to, ought to are modal auxiliaries. So, for better understanding these auxiliaries and its uses, we are going to study one by one with main verbs with some examples. Okay, first we take be. Okay, the auxiliary be is used in the formation of continuous tenses. For example, he is working. Ing form, previously we studied that ing form means it is in a continuous type of tenses. So he is working. I was working. Is and was are the two form of auxiliary be. Okay. Next is it can be also used in the formation of passive sentences such as the gate was open. Okay, the gate was open. So here was is the verb which is used in the sentence. Okay, second, that is have. The verb have, the auxiliary have is used in the formation of the perfect tenses. Have is used in the formation of the perfect tenses. For example, he has worked. Here has is the form of a have, and has been also the form of have in past tenses. Have to is used with infinitives to indicate obligations such as I have to be there by 5 o'clock. He has to move the furniture himself. So, in these sentences, have and has is present in the sentence to show the obligations in the negative and question sentence. Have to and had to are used to do, with do, does, and did. Okay, for example, they have to go. In this sentence we used have to with present base form of the verb go. In negative, while making this sentence in a negative form, there we use don't. Don't means do not. Okay, don't means do not. They don't have to go. And third form, while making a interrogative sentence, that is do they have to go, have to is used in these three types of sentences. The and has to also used in negative and interrogative sentence. That has to become negative and or used as in a negative sentence as a have to. He had to go. It also becomes or used have to in negative form. And while making interrogative, it also used have to. Did he have to go? Okay, so the next verb is do. The auxiliary do is used to form a negative and interrogative of the simple present and simple past tense of the ordinary verb, such as negative sentence in a simple present is he doesn't work. Here we used the does form of do verb, and in the next sentence he didn't work. While making past tense, we simple past tense we used the did not in the sentence. While making it interrogative, we used does he work. Here in this sentence we use does, and while we make interrogative in a past tense, we used did he work. So in these sentences we can clearly identify the changes of the base form of verb do while making it in a simple present negative sentence. It changes from do to does, and while making interrogative it changes did from do. In past tense, in simple past tense, it do is changes does, and do is changes did in simple past tense. Okay, next, to avoid repetition of ordinary verbs, such as while making yes and no type questions. Okay, here is the first example. Do you know him? In this interrogative sentence or yes and no type questions, we used to answer as yes I do. So we used the do as it is in answer. Secondly, you met him, didn't you? So we already know the rule of making or add a question tag when the sentence is in a positive, we make it in a negative question tag. The third sentence is he eat fish and so do you. It is just has a repetition in each sentence that do and do you know do and yes I do. So in the first sentence we can easily identify that we avoid the verb know of using do in the sentence. Secondly, we avoid verb met while using did, making question tag. In third sentence, we avoid it and we use do in the sentence. Can, could, may, might. The next point is can, could, may, might. Okay. Can is usually used to express the ability or capacity of subject or pronoun. In first sentence, I can swim across the river. In this sentence, it shows the ability of subject I, the ability of swimming across the river. In second sentence, he can work this sum. So here also we can know the ability of the subject he. In third sentence, can you lift the box? In this sentence, can express the ability of subject you of lifting the box. Can and may are used to express permission. So can and may or could and might are also used to express permissions that you may go now. In this sentence, may is used as giving permission in the second sentence. Can I borrow your umbrella? In this sentence also, a can is express the permission of borrowing the umbrella. May is used to express possibility in positive sentence and can is used in interrogative and negative sentence. It may rain tomorrow. The may is express the possibility of raining tomorrow. In the second sentence, he may be at home. Here also it express the may is express the possibility of him being at home. In third sentence, can this be true? Here also it expresses the possibility of rightfulness. Another modal auxiliary is shall, should, and will, would. Shall is used in the first person and will is used in the all persons, that is first person, second person and third person, to express the future. For example, we look it with the help of examples. I shall be 25 next birthday. Here we used shall be to express the future. Or another sentence can be I will be 25 next birthday. Here also we used the first person I and express the future of being 25. Second example, we will need the money on 15th. In this sentence, will express the future of need. In third sentence, when shall we see you again? Shall is used in this sentence of expressing the future. The next sentence is tomorrow will be Sunday. We can easily identify that will and shall is used to express the future in the sentence. Another example is you will see that I am right. So this type of shall and should are used in the sentences to shows the future or express the future. Sometimes shall is used in the second and third person to express command or a promise. For example, you shall not enter my house again. It expresses the command in the sentence with the help of shall. Another sentence is you shall have a holiday tomorrow. Here is a promise in the sentence with the help of shall have. In the third sentence, it expresses shall is expressed the threat in the sentence, that is you shall be punished for this. So threat also can express in the sentence with the auxiliary model, that is shall. To express question, we can easily use shall I or shall we. For example, shall I open the door? Or which pen shall I buy? Or where shall we go? So such type of questions can also express with the help of modal shall. And will is used to express the habit or a request or probability in the sentence, and should is express the duty or obligation. For example, we should obey the law. In this sentence, should is used to express the duty. You should keep your promise. In this sentence, should is used to show the obligation. Children should obey their parent. So, in this way, we use should to express duty or obligation. The next auxiliary is must and ought to. So, must is used to express necessity. For example, you must improve your spelling. We must get up early in the morning. So, must in this sentence, must is emphasized on or express necessity in the sentence. In the first sentence, it expressed the necessity of improving spelling, and in the second sentence, it expressed the necessity of awakening early in the morning. And ought to is express, the ought to is express, this type of model auxiliary is expresses the desirability or a moral obligation. For example, we ought to love our neighbors. It expresses the desire in the sentence of loving with each other. We ought to help him. You ought to know better. The auxiliary used to express the discontinued habit. There used to be a house there. In this sentence, used to express the discontinued of house. In this sentence, we can easily understand that the house was previously situated at the place. So, we can use the model used to express that the house was previously situated there. Second example, I used to live there when I was a boy. In this sentence, it expresses that in previous years when he was a boy, he used to live there. Third example, I need hardly take this help, his help. Sorry. In this sentence, need is express that he did not need any type of help from him. In fourth sentence, he dare not take such a step. A dare not express that he is not going to take a such step, so a need hardly used to or dare. This type of auxiliaries used to, need, dare to are used to express the discontinuation of action or habit in the sentence. So there are some auxiliaries which we can use in the sentence to express the ability, possibility, obligation, permission, or a habit. With the help of these type of auxiliaries, will, shall, would, should, can, could, may, might, must, need, used to, have to, has to, or ought to. So these type of auxiliaries we can use in the sentences. So this lesson shows that we can use the modal auxiliary in the sentence with which expresses the meaning. So in this lecture we will stop here.